Do you ever notice how the same names keep showing up, no matter which team is supposedly in charge? You vote, they rotate the faces, and the game keeps running exactly the same way. Higher prices, more rules and laws that only the rich and connected can navigate. Kids growing up with less than you had, then some scandal breaks, everybody acts shocked for 2 weeks, and it all fades. Well, January 30th, 2026, the Department of Justice dropped 3.5 million pages on Jeffrey Epstein. Buried in that mountain was something that should have been front-page news for a month. Explicit references to Epstein's ties to the infamous Trilateral Commission, not a rumor, not some forum post. The documents say it straight up. If you're new to this, the Trilateral Commission is the outfit David Rockefeller put together in 1973, 3 blocks: North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. Membership by invitation only. People who control banks, media, big corporations, academia, and a few hand-picked union bosses. They meet under Chatham House rules, so nobody can quote who said what. The whole point, according to their own 1975 report, was that Western countries had an excess of democracy. Too many regular people making too many demands. The fix? More apathy, less involvement. Let the serious people handle it. That report was written by Samuel Huntington and a couple of European and Japanese academics. Huntington looked back fondly at the Truman years, when a relatively small number of Wall Street lawyers and bankers could get things done without the rabble complicating matters. By the 1960s, he complained, special interests started trying to get into the act. Translation: working people wanted higher wages, real protections, and some accountability. The solution wasn't better arguments. It was to take the decisions out of reach. When Jimmy Carter took office in 1977, the place was crawling with trilateral members Mondale, Vance, Brzezinski, Harold Brown, Paul Volcker, Alan Greenspan. This wasn't theory anymore. It was staffing the control room. Now, as Murray Rothbard taught well, the state isn't your friend. It's not even a neutral referee. The state is the mechanism for the connected to extract wealth from the productive masses through central banking, war, regulation, taxation, and bailouts. The Trilateral Commission is just the private club where those interests coordinate across borders so the game stays rigged no matter who wins the election. It's rich versus poor without the Marxist costume, the owners versus the owned. Jeffrey Epstein was in that club, college dropout from Brooklyn. No real business anyone could explain. His only documented big client was Leslie Wexner. Yet he ended up on the board of Rockefeller University, and then, by his own account, got invited to join the Trilateral Commission, personally by David Rockefeller himself. He told the story to Steve Bannon. Rockefeller had explained world politics to him. Politicians come and go every 4 or 8 years. The people who provide real continuity are the businessmen. So Rockefeller built this commission of businessmen and politicians from the 3 big regions. Stability. Consistency. Epstein was in his early 30s. He looked at the member list, Bill Clinton, Paul Volcker, big names from Japan and Europe, and thought, why not? When they asked for a bio, he wrote, Jeffrey Epstein, comma, just a good kid. He said nobody else thought it was funny. Of course, Rockefeller didn't recruit him for his sparkling resume. He recruited Epstein because he was useful. In a world shifting to computers and complex calculations, they needed somebody who could talk numbers to institutions that used to run on old money and family names. That was the entry ticket. Once inside, Epstein did what fixers do. He made introductions. He brokered meetings that never showed up on official calendars. He ran in circles with intelligence-adjacent people. Achad Barak, 36 meetings. William Burns, 3 meetings, while he was Deputy Secretary of State. An Israeli military intelligence officer living at his place for weeks. His father-in-law figure, Robert Maxwell, had long been tied to Mossad. Epstein himself got described by Howard Lutnick as the greatest blackmailer ever. Hidden cameras, labeled CDs, dirt on powerful people's proclivities. You don't need me to connect those dots. The modeling side with Jean-Luc Brunel wasn't some side hobby either. It supplied the perfect environment where the powerful could be compromised and kept compliant. That's how you maintain leverage in a network that runs on access and secrets. Now look at what that same network looks like today in Britain. Peter Mandelson, Trilateral Commission European Group member, appears in Epstein's Black Book 10 times with home numbers and country home numbers. In 2002, while Tony Blair was Prime Minister, Mandelson lobbied for Epstein to get a meeting at Downing Street. A civil servant memo called Epstein a friend of Bill Clinton and Peter Mandelson. After Epstein's 2008 conviction and light sentence, he wired £10,000 to Mandelson's husband. Virginia Giuffre testified she was introduced to Mandelson at a dinner party in Epstein's New York house. Epstein called him Power. Keir Starmer, also Trilateral Commission. In November 2017, he posted about a lively discussion there on different visions for Britain. Later, knowing the Epstein-Mandelson connection, Starmer made Mandelson British ambassador to Washington. The same club that gave Epstein a pass is still placing its people in the rooms where policy gets made. This isn't a conspiracy in the cartoon sense. It's the natural behavior of a ruling class that captured the state apparatus long ago. They don't need to issue orders from a smoke-filled room. They share the same assumptions about who should run things, they move through the same institutions, and they close ranks when one of their assets becomes a liability. Epstein wasn't an aberration. He was a product of the system the 1975 report helped build. A system designed to keep excessive democracy from interfering with the interests of the banks and their political servants. The documents released in 2026 didn't create these connections. They just made it harder for the respectable press to keep pretending they didn't exist. 2.5 million pages are still being withheld. Funny how that works. Here's the part they count on you ignoring. None of this required you to be stupid. It required you to stay busy, stay divided, and keep believing the next election or the next hearing will finally drain the swamp. While you're working overtime to cover the bills they inflated, they're coordinating across 3 continents about how to manage the next phase of the same game. The answer isn't to beg the system to reform itself. It's to recognize that the state and its connected class are the problem, not the solution. Sound money instead of fiat games that transfer wealth upward. Real accountability instead of regulatory capture. Voluntary cooperation instead of managed trade that funnels wealth up into ruling class pockets. Epstein is dead. The network that protected and used him is not. The documents prove the overlap. The question is whether you're still willing to pretend the people running these clubs have your interests anywhere on their agenda. Trust me, they don't. Never did. And the sooner enough of us stop playing their game and start building lives and institutions they can't touch, the sooner their excess of democracy problem gets a whole lot worse for them. That's the part they're afraid of. Not another hearing, not another vote. You deciding you don't need their permission to live free frightens them dearly. Share this if it hit home. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your judgment your own. This is Stateless Standard. Peace.